Today, we will talk about marginal cost meaning, formula, and examples. In economics, the marginal cost is the change in total production cost that comes from making or producing one additional unit. To calculate marginal cost, divide the change in production costs by the change in quantity. The purpose of analyzing marginal cost is to determine at what point an organization can achieve economies of scale to optimize production and overall operations. If the marginal cost of producing one additional unit is lower than the per unit price, the producer has the potential to gain a profit. Marginal cost is calculated as the total expenses required to manufacture one additional good. Therefore, it can be measured by changes to what expenses are incurred for any given additional unit. The formula is simple: marginal cost equals change in total expenses / change in quantity of units produced. Marginal cost is an economics and managerial accounting concept most often used among manufacturers as a means of isolating an optimum production level. At a certain level of production, the benefit of producing one additional unit and generating revenue from that item will bring the overall cost of producing the product line down. The key to optimizing manufacturing costs is to find that point or level as quickly as possible. When a company knows both its marginal cost and marginal revenue for various product lines, it can concentrate resources towards items where the difference is the greatest. Marginal cost is also essential in knowing when it is no longer profitable to manufacture additional goods. Marginal cost is also beneficial in helping a company take on additional or custom orders. Production costs consist of both fixed costs and variable costs. Fixed costs do not change with an increase or decrease in production levels, so the same value can be spread out over more units of output with increased production. On the other hand, variable costs will increase when more units are produced. The total cost per unit decreases when fixed costs are spread over more units. Marginal cost is often graphically depicted as a relationship between marginal revenue and average cost. The marginal cost slope will vary across company and product but is often a U-shaped curve that initially decreases as efficiency is realized only to later potentially exponentially increase. Marginal cost is strictly an internal reporting calculation that is not required for external financial reporting. Publicly facing financial statements are not required to disclose marginal cost figures, and the calculations are simply used by internal management to devise strategies. Marginal cost highlights the premise that one incremental unit will be much less expensive if it remains within the current relevant range. However, additional step costs or burdens to the existing relevant range will result in materially higher marginal costs that management must be aware of. Marginal cost figures significantly into the marginal cost pricing doctrine, aka marginal cost theory, an economic principle that dictates that prices for products or rates for service should be predicated upon marginal costs for the purpose of economic efficiency. Here are 5 key takeaways. 1. Marginal cost is an important concept in managerial accounting, as it can help an organization optimize its production through economies of scale. 2. A company can maximize its profits by producing to where marginal cost, MC, equals marginal revenue, MR. 3. Fixed costs are constant regardless of production levels, so higher production leads to a lower fixed cost per unit as the total is allocated over more units. 4. Variable costs change based on production levels, so producing more units will add more variable costs. 5. Companies must be mindful of when increasing production necessitates results in step costs due to changes in relevant ranges, i.e. additional machinery or storage space needed. Hope this would help. Thanks for watching.